This is usually the drill. I don't have usually a lot of time with the client. They'll come in later. And also the bad part about being quick is that they feel like, oh, I'm gonna take my time with my lunch. I'm gonna spend more time with my husband. I'll see my kids a little bit longer because Sir John can do this quicker. But that's not a good thing, but you have to work fast. So if you have 15 minutes with your client, what are you gonna do? And so for me, there are few quick staples, and I'm gonna fire them away, and I'm just gonna do them right now, all right? Can I get an amen?
Good.
Yeah.
Amen.
The first thing is blush. So blush is gonna be the quickest vehicle to making everyone look really healthy. And when I say healthy, you know, your grandparents knew the power of blush. You know, older women know that as they become more mature, their skin becomes more sallow and they don't have that health and vitality that like they used to, so you usher it in with blush. I love cream blush, as you guys know. And this right here, it's red, it looks red, so this would scare a lot of people, but a red blush is everyone's friend. And it's seemingly like, okay, how can I wear a red blush? So we're gonna go in, I'm gonna warm it up a little bit with my hands, because your body heat changes the texture of makeup. And so we're gonna go in and do a very sheer wash of color. Turn this way, profile, a little. Perfect. And so basically on the apples of the cheeks. So the apples of the cheeks are wherever you smile, wherever you see the most fat where you smile, that's the apple. So I'm gonna deposit most of my color here on the apples. And if you notice, as soon as it hits the skin, I started moving it. And so what I want you to do is don't be afraid of this blush. Use your hands to warm it up. So if you notice, a cream blush is only gonna be as scary as you are scared of it. And so if you notice, I'm going a little higher. And so when I say higher, not geisha high, but I'm going high enough for it to look almost like very childish. I want it to look like she's been like an English garden party, like a tea party, you know? And so I'm also gonna bring that into the temples as well. And don't be afraid to bring it into the chin. Another cool thing you do with blush is always bring it a little bit into the chest, just a bit onto the bones, and it makes their skin look feverish in a sense, like they just kind of been running or just came in from the cold. Mind you, the clock is ticking, so these are all things I would do really quickly while they're doing hair or while someone's looking through a laptop or doing something where they're not paying me much attention, but I know that I have to create a look in no time flat. And if you notice, I'm working my way back into the hair. So I'm not bringing blush forward, I'm always working back. And so I'll give you a rule of thumb. If you're working with a blush and it happens to be a deeper color, you go lower. So what did Michelle Obama say? What did she say famously?
When they go low, we go high.
Boom. Okay, so that means when it comes to blush, you go lower if you're deeper colors because they can work as a contouring shade. If I have a very fair color, I'm gonna go a little higher. Turn this way. And I don't wanna say fair. I'm gonna stop saying fair about light stuff. What makes light fair? When it's lighter. See, I caught myself, guys. See all these triggers? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm taking a little bit of loose powder, the same powder, and I just wanna make sure that we set that blush with a little bit of loose powder, just so it doesn't move. And then we're gonna go directly onto a statement lip. And everything that I'm doing with the intention of, if we stop now and they have to pull her, she will be fine. Think about that. A lot of things you do in terms of makeup, it's like, for example, it's like cooking, right? If you're cooking, you don't have the option of always having a messy kitchen with a million things on the stove. What can you do and keep it contained to that feature while you're working on it? So now we're done with blush, I'm gonna go into lips. I'm gonna use a liner. So I rarely line the lips before I do lipstick. I always do lips first, but I'm gonna use this liner all over the lips as lipstick. I'm going for a really serious color. And so this is a really great rule I always like to tell ladies, is that if you don't have time, don't spend time on the eyes. Because guess what? Everyone will know you didn't have time if you created an eye look. But if you do a statement lip, no one will know that you had 10 minutes. And guess what? If you're really cool with your client, or if you rock with her like that, sometimes I'll give like, hey, you line your lips, I'll do something else. It's teamwork. So the reason I'm doing lip liner all over is because it works as almost like a stain, and it's a barrier to make sure that the lipstick stays on longer. But I'm gonna use a long wear lip, so it doesn't really matter in this case, but it would be nice, just in case we wanted to do like a sheer gloss on top of it.
Is there a rule of thumb on choosing the perfect lip color for your client?
That's a great question, and so the reason I'm confused even answering it, and I'll tell you why. Because like for years, editors always ask me, Sir John, what's the trend right now? What do you think is the trend for the season? What do women want to wear for fall? And I don't believe in assigning a color. I don't believe in telling anyone what is popular because I think it's popular. I feel like even if you see a lip color and it's played out, but it makes you feel some way, it raises your vibration, it makes you feel more confident, own it, wear it, do it. So there's really no rule. And also you have to realize, especially with women of color, we were told for years that we're not supposed to wear red. We're not supposed to wear a bright pink or magenta, a purple. But now we know that's the silliest thing that we've ever heard. So when it comes to rules, guys, the rules are meant to be broken.
Are there maybe 3 colors that you would say are considered statement lip colors for you so that, if you put it on, that she could walk out as is? Are there 3 colors that you would choose?
So like what statement staples do I have, yeah? Statement staples that I have would be a dark Merlot, is timeless. I love a blue-based red is beautiful. When I say blue-based red, not like a fuchsia, but like a deep, deep red that has an interesting mix to it, like a ruby woo, all those kind of colors. Those are beautiful, complex reds. And they're timeless. If you think about it, the red lip is really, really classic. Also a nude. A nude always is a great look, but it doesn't necessarily scream statement. But I do love an orange in the summertime. I love a red, like a reddish orange is beautiful in the summer. It makes everyone's skin look really healthy. I'll give you a tip. If you want your teeth to look really brilliant and white, go for a blue-based red. This is blue-based red. If you want your tan to look healthy, if you want your skin to look alive, go for an orange-based red. Huh?
When is it necessary to deteriorate the difference between glossy and appropriate for a matte lip? Like what would be the...
So determining the difference between matte and gloss, I would say 2 things. A, you want to look at what skin texture are you serving up that day. So if you're going to go for a super matte skin, it would be nice to have the juxtaposition of a glossy lip. But if you have super, super radiant, glowing skin like we did on my past client, I would go for a matte. But so in this case, we're like right in the center. So it's really up to you guys. What do you feel?
I like it like this.
Is it like satin?
Glossy. The matte is like a little bit more like grown and sexy.
But it's not like a dry matte.
But throw the
Like
gloss on
satin.
so we can see.
But we can see both.
I want to see what the gloss.
Okay,
why not?
gloss. Wow, ooh, okay, a lot. So I'm gonna just finish this off, blot for me, blot, blot, blot. And then let's do a gloss. But also,
I just wanna see the
great thing about it,
transition.
the great thing about a lip, guys, is that it's so mature. It's so mature. So this right here is a statement, but it's grown and sexy. She doesn't have to have any eyes on, and this could be from Park Avenue to Flatbush.
Wow.
That is matte, but I'm gonna gloss it up because you guys are so confused right now, so I'm gonna do both. And then after we're done with this, I'm gonna give her a really quick feline flick of liner, and then we're gonna be done.
It went from like
I'm here to like, hey.
It's a holiday party.
right.
Now we're gonna do a really quick liner. I'm gonna show you how to do, like, in seconds, an even wing. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm taking a black liner. This is a waterproof liner. And you guys know what I like to do with the liners. I like to do, what is it called? Tight line. Love the tight line because it makes the lashes so dense and thick from the root. But always make sure that you clean off your liners if you're sharing. Liners will break off the tip. And so the reason I like a look like this, and this is a go-to, is because it's tried and true. And so when I say tried and true, guys, you got to look at makeup as what's a reliable friend. So reliable friends are ones you can count on and they don't let you down. This a look like this doesn't usually let me down. Okay, so now we're gonna go in and I have a pot liner. So these are tricky for some, but I'm gonna tell you how and why I like to use them. So you see this brush? It's a really quick, easy brush. It's easy for me, and I hope it's gonna be easy for you if you do a little practice. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna show you how to create a great wing. Turn this way, profile for me, a little bit more, perfect. So I'm gonna draw a dot where I want my wings to end. And look at me again, I just wanna even them out. So you see these little dots? These are training wheels. So what I wanna do is I wanna meet that dot with liner, and then we're gonna clean up after. So don't worry about making mistakes, because we're gonna clean everything up with a Q-tip. But no line happens in one stroke. There's about 3 strokes to get a straight line. Cool? Can you hold this for me? Mm-hmm. Turn back, and turn this way, perfect. And so I'm starting at the inner corner of the eye. Can you guys see? I'll show you on the other. And close. So 1, 2. Okay. And so I'm going to show you guys something. So the coolest trick I've ever learned, one of the coolest tricks, is have your liner there. And all you have to do is take your finger and just bring it out. Okay? And that seems like a lot, but we're gonna clean it up. So don't worry. But instead of worrying about how you're gonna get to that line so much, this is seconds. It doesn't matter if she's moving, changing a pamper, you can do this with your client. So now I'm gonna sharpen it up and get in there and create that dimension that I need. And now I can go in, because I already have a faint view of what it looks like. Open. Boom. Cool. Okay, and then get into a habit of making sure that you don't see any skin where the lashes grow from, because that is a huge no-no. That's the tackiest thing you can do.
As a pro, do you have any tips for, we're human, and sometimes our nerves get a little,
I got nerves.
you know. Do you have any techniques, or like breathing techniques, or any professional suggestions that you could suggest for like anyone who has a little bit of like nerve problems, or how to calm your hand down if it's a bit?
So that's a really good question. I don't try not to drink coffee before a client, or I try not to do caffeine. I try not to take a pre-workout or leave the gym and go straight to a client just to keep in it. That's just experience taught me that. But also, I'm naturally a little bit calm in stressful situations, but because I've been through so much in my life. But I would say if you can get into a habit of breathing. And so when I say breathing, I know it sounds kind of like juvenile, right? But take 3 or 4 deep breaths. And when the third or the fourth, hold it a little longer. And then by your 4th breath, on your exhale, you'll feel a bit more centered. So guys, and this goes back to the chapters we were talking about earlier in terms of doing the work. So breathing is one of the ways to relieve stress. It's a great way to check into yourself or lean into yourself before you walk into someone's house. If you're having a stressful day, if everything's going to shit, breathe and just practice it. And then honestly, it sounds really like boring and like basic, but you'll come back to yourself a lot sooner and a lot quicker. Also, it helps your memory. A lot of these times, the bad thing about being a makeup artist or a professional in this business is that these clients or these people are looking to you for calm. They're looking to you for a sense of like a safe space to go into. And so it's hard to be a safe space when you're trying to get your job done, you know? Or like, the hairstylist won't move out the way for you to get what you need to do, or all this kind of stuff like that. But that's the work we have to do. You gotta be Superman or Superwoman.
What are some of your professional strategies and techniques on keeping your client calm when their nerves are all over the place or their stress level is just through the roof?
I was rolling around during Fashion Week with a supermodel, one of the original 3. And so basically, she's like, run the light, do this, do that to the driver, because we're trying to get to Anna Wintour on time for this huge Vogue party. And I was like, you know that's the opposite of what if you want it to come to you quicker. She's like, I have the tools, I just choose not to use them at the point. So my whole thing is, guys, you gotta have the tools. And the tools are understanding that if I want whatever I'm wanting, I need to slow down for it to get to me. And so in these spaces, when you're with these women and they're stressed out and all this is happening, guys, every time you're with them, the only reason you're booked because it's a big day, right? Because it's already a high octane environment, or otherwise they wouldn't need you. So all I'm saying, guys, in that time, look at it as an extension of your job to just be a breeze of wind. Like, do some jumping jacks with her. Take it, like, make a joke. Walk out the room. If you have some time, go get her a juice. You know, rub her feet. Like, give her a little hand massage. I know it sounds corny, but these things will keep you in the industry for a long time, for decades. If you guys have really quick places to go to that are routine for you, and also your clients will look to you when they have someone else who is not able to do what you do in those times, guys, you will become a destination. And I'm laughing because I'm telling you what I know. So, you know, I am very confident in when I'm not around my client and she's in a really stressful situation, I'm thinking to myself, he's not gonna handle it like I'm gonna handle it. So, because I know I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna relax. I need to be the most zen person in that space. Any person who even moves too fast around a woman who's really already stressed out is a target. So just bring your body language down, slow your speed down, be really deliberate with what you're reaching for and what you're doing around her, because she's studying everything and she's internalizing everything. They're like, think about it. It's more than artistry. At that point, it's not about your artistry any longer, it's about wisdom. Your wisdom should kick in. And what would you do if you were around children and you had kids who were freaking out? How would you comfort them? You know, so think about that. Not saying that your clients are children, but that much care needs to be delivered.
This actually happened to me. I had a celebrity client, whose mother had just passed, but she had to do like a red carpet situation. So she had been previously crying, and it was my first time working with her. But like puffy under eyes, and just we had to keep stopping, which was fine. Everything came out great, but what are some tips or tricks you would do to help with the puffiness? You're in a time crunch.
The tears.
The tears.
Yeah.
I'm stressed out.
Stress.
It came out beautiful, but I was stressed out.
Well, the thing is, I think that in that time, she's gonna remember more about how you handled it than about how she appears to look. She already knows that this was a trigger for me. I was in a bad situation. I was up against something. But how did these people handle it? So handle every situation with care, and also just realize I need to offer her as much as I can so she feels safe. Create a safe environment, and whatever that looks like, whatever length you have to go to make that a safe environment, do it.
What would you use product-wise, like for under the eye for puffiness?
I would go to a cold spoon.
Okay.
Cold spoon on the eyes, gets rid of swellings, increase the circulation, you'll be in a good place.
Okay.
Cool? So in this lesson, we learned a quick statement look. Enjoy.